Hello, good afternoon, my friends. I hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome. I am Chelsea. Today we are going to be doing a beginner's energizing flow, trying to get the blood pumping. My dogs ran through here and were all over my mat because they love to lay on it, so I'll just walk around there. I hope you guys are all doing very well today. It's a pleasure to be here. We'll give everybody a few minutes to come and hang out, but we are going to start in a seated position. If you would like to grab a yoga block, you can today. You don't need it. If you do want it, we're just going to use it to pull on our hamstrings if your knees are tight or injured, or you can use a thick book. And I like to have a blanket readily available, specifically to pad my knees and as well as out my posture. So if you want to grab those things, please feel free. Take this time to do so. Oh, and water. Before we begin, I just want to let you guys know that if you are interested, please feel free to join our Discord channel as well as our Twitter, Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. We're at Heart and Soul BJJ on all of those platforms, and I will definitely be posting the Discord chat soon. Just a great way to kind of become a part of our community and really foster just a sense of togetherness, especially during this time when a lot of us are kind of stuck inside not kind of, but are stuck inside by ourselves, or if you have the blessing of being with family, at least you have family, but a lot of us right now are alone, and so I think through yoga and through this kind of community we can really come together and not feel so isolated. Alright, I'll give them through 2 more minutes. I thought I had this camera exactly where I wanted it, and now I'm sitting down and seeing that it's not quite where I wanted it to be. If you would like to come into a cross-legged sit, doesn't matter which leg is over the other, whatever's most comfortable for you. You can put that blanket underneath your tailbone to help align your spine. And we're going to do a lot of the same postures we did in my last stream. We're going to add one new one and we're going, or two new things, and kind of build on what we worked on last time. Before we start, I just wanted to say that yoga is about being mindful and being present in the moment and accepting exactly where you are right now. So if anything is painful, or you feel like you can't breathe deeply and come back into your breath, then go back a bit, or even you can rest in a child's pose, with your knees together and coming back, with letting your stomach rest on your thighs and your glutes rest on your heel, or your head comes down to the mat, and your arms can be either out or back. So if there's ever anything that's too extraneous or it's starting to feel painful, you can either go back a step, or rest in a child's pose. Just yoga's a time to be very mindful and kind to yourself. And some of this stuff can be very difficult, but it's not about flexibility, and it's not about how flexible you are. It's not about how strong you are and whether you can do the poses or not. It's about accepting where you are in the moment and bettering yourself each and every day. So whether this is your first time on the mat, or you haven't come back to it in 6 months, or you were here on Monday with me, welcome back. Always happy to have you. And let's get started. We're going to start in a seated position, legs crossed over, doesn't matter which way they're crossed. If you want to put a blanket folded up right behind you, put it on your tailbone, underneath your tailbone to help align your spine, you can. You can let our hands rest, palms down or palms up, it doesn't matter. We want to draw our shoulders up and back. Almost think of your shoulders like a clock, and they're at the 4 o'clock position on your back. I want you to imagine that you're leaning back against a wall just slightly. We're aligning our head over heart, heart over pelvis. And in a seated pose, this pose seems like it's very simple and easy, but this is one of the most important poses, and it's a very active pose. So we're being very mindful. We're drawing our shoulders down and away from our ears, our shoulder blades together, behind our back, softening our gaze, and just listening to the sound of your breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Maybe breathing out on a sigh, just allowing yourself to come to a sense of peace and serenity here. Drawing each breath out longer than the last, releasing any tension you might be feeling in your forehead, in your cheeks, and your jaw. Letting all the tension melt out of your body, imagining as you breathe in, you're breathing in a big ball of energy, and imagining as you breathe out and exhale that all of the stress and tension, all of your worries are just being breathed out and blown away from you. Smiling to yourself. Taking in the noises around you, like I can hear some birds. Feeling this and taking in and accepting the sensations. I can feel myself pressing down into the earth, pressing down into the ground on my mat. The sensation of the fabric of my pants beneath my fingertips. I can hear birds singing, the wind slightly blowing. I can hear the wonderful people in my apartment complex outside and living their respective lives. Good. One more deep breath here. And on the exhale, we're going to start making our way to tabletop. Slowly and mindfully. So as you move here, we're going to align our knees under our hip points. If you want to grab your blanket and pad your knees, this is a good time to do it. We're aligning our knees under our hip points and our palms underneath our shoulders. We're spreading our fingertips as wide as starfish, having a very active stance here. Coming to the tops of our feet. I really like saying the word feet. Pressing up and out of the earth, not dropping our shoulders, not collapsing in this posture, but finding strength. Having a flat back, sending our gaze slightly forward and our chin down to our chest. Gaze can be straight down too. Not pressing our chin in, but just aligned, almost as if the butt aligned with your knees, with your thighs here. Taking a deep breath in here. If you want to take a nice cat-cow, we can do one of those, extending, dropping our belly like we did on our last stream. Extending your gaze up. On the exhale, curling your tailbone underneath, drawing your navel in, dropping your chin to your chest, maybe finding some movement side to side, and then coming back to a flat back tabletop. On our inhale, we're going to draw our right leg up and to the side. And I want you to imagine that you have a crayon on your right knee, and you're going to draw big circles with that crayon. So we're drawing big circles with that crayon that's on our knee. Getting some movement here in the hip joint. And I want you to have an active feet, active toes on this side. So spreading our toes as wide as we can, not pointing them, but having very active, almost like you were, if you were going to be kicking out or pushing. Switching directions with those circles if you haven't yet. Taking a nice deep breath here. Good. Coming back to center, dropping your knee down, maybe rocking your hips side to side. I'm a little sore and stiff, so this feels really nice. And if you need to come off your wrists at any point, you can walk your fingertips back and rotate your wrists and then come back to where we are. You don't want to crash down into them, so I suggest and I recommend actually press into the pads and knuckles of your fingertip instead of collapsing right onto your wrists. But most of the pressure should be on the knuckles and the fingertips instead of just your wrists. Excellent. Inhaling, we're actually going to extend that right leg straight back and imagine that we're pushing a wall right behind us. Toes are pointed down towards the earth. Exhale, bringing our knee to our chest, knee to nose. Inhale, extending our leg out. Exhale, knee to nose. You can point your toes as you bring your knee in. If this feels good, you can take a few more of these if you want a little more. Engage your core here, and we're going to extend our left fingertips out and away from us, sending our gaze over our left fingertips and exhaling, bringing everything in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring to center. One more of these. Good. Exhale, drop it all down. Wonderful. We'll rock your hips side to side. Bring your big toes together. We're going to spread our knees as wide as the mat. Bringing our hands as wide as the mat. And we're going to send our our hips back towards our feet, letting our head drop in a child's pose. You can have either rest your arms here, or you can take active arms pressing up and out of the mat with that extension, and that's good for it feels nice on the shoulders if you have tight shoulders. Coming back to the sound of the breath here. Good, and on your next inhale, come back up to tabletop, and then do the other side. Having that good foundational pose, our knees underneath our hip points, engaging in the core, pressing up and out of the earth, pressing the tops of our feet into the earth. And on the inhale, we're going to imagine that there's a crown again on our left knee, and we're going to draw big circles with it. Nice big circles here in the joint, are getting some movement in the joint, letting the blood start flowing through our entire body here. Switch directions if you haven't yet. Having active feet, active toes. Good. Exhale, come back down. Wonderful. As we press up and out of the earth, we engage our core. And pressing into the tops of our right foot, we're going to inhale and extend our left foot straight back, keeping our toes active, face down towards the earth. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend, not collapsing into our shoulders, but really being mindful and not collapsing into our hip or our leg crashing down into our hands, but finding balance as we engage in our core. If this feels good, you can extend your right hand up and out. You can, keeping your fingertips spread, exhale, bring it all in. Inhale, extend, pressing into the tops of your feet. Top of your right foot, exhale, bring it in. Good, one more. Inhale, extend, and exhale, bring it all back down. Very nice. Curl the back toes under, and on an inhale, we're going to draw energy up, and exhale, send our hips up and back for our first downward dog. Oh, very nice. Bend your knees as generously here as you need to. Like I said, I'm very stiff and sore this afternoon. So for me, this is like just walking my feet out feels really good. Moving with my breath. Sending my belly down to the tops of my thighs, dropping my head. My thumb is parallel with the front edge of my mat. My forefingers are pointing towards it. Elbows are extended outwards, slight bend. So good. On our next inhale, we're going to imagine that we're coming up and over a hurdle, and we're going to come into plank. Inhale, come forward, coming to the tops of our toes, not collapsing in the posture, but finding strength here, engaging the core. Good. Exhale, lower and hover. Coming to the tops of our feet, pressing into the floor. You can either take an upward dog here or a slight back bend. Let your fingertips hover. If you're going to come into baby cobra here, let your fingertips hover so you're actually finding strength in your core here. Exhale, come back down. Curl the back toe underneath. We're going to press up and out away from the earth into plank and go straight back into downward dog. Excellent. Pedaling it out. Moving with the sound of your breath. Good. Inhale, we're going to come up and over that hurdle. Forward into plank pose. Exhale, lower and hover, chaturanga. Good. Exhale, come back down. Curl the back toes underneath. Big breath of energy. One more time. Press up and out into plank. Send your hips up and back to downward dog. Good. One breath here, and on the next inhale, we're going to come up and over the hurdle forward. Exhale, lower and hover. Arms are tired maybe right now. So if you want to take a moment to rest right here, you can. Keeping our hands right next to our ribs. Coming to the tops of our feet, we're going to press up and send our gaze upward. Upward facing dog. And then we're going to just send our hips down and back from our knees to child's pose. And you can either have wide knees here or you can bring them together. Letting our hands slide down past our head, past our neck, past our knees, all the way back. Palm up at our feet. And just listening to the sound of our breath here. Maybe rocking side to side. Maybe you find some movement. Maybe you stay static in this pose and you keep dynamic in just your breath. When you're ready, we're going to walk our hands back up in the tabletop, curling our back toes underneath. Inhaling, sending our hips up and back to downward dog, and we are either going to step or hop towards the front edge of our mat here. Bringing our feet together, zipping them up today, toes together. Bending our knees as generously as we need to. We're going to walk our fingertips side to side here. You can drop the head, shake it yes or no. Maybe wrapping your arms behind your legs. Maybe just grabbing them in front and just hanging, feeling that nice stretch in the shoulders. Good. Inhale, halfway lift, placing your hands, either your fingertips on the mat, your hands on your shins, or even up on your thighs, coming to a flat back, sending our gaze outward. Exhale, release. Big inhale here, we're going to come all the way up, drawing our hands up and over our head. And on our exhale, I want you to imagine that you're going to make a field goal with your hands as you do a slight back bend. If you need to look, pause the video or pause and look, you can. Inhale, coming back up, exhale, hands to heart. Swan dive forward, all the way down. Forward fold, excellent. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up, hands up overhead. And imagine a big beach ball of energy. So create tension, almost like you're pushing. Exhale, slight back bend, drawing your shoulders down and back, almost like a field goal. Inhale, extending. Exhale, all the way back down. Very nice. A few more of these. It's just great on the hips and the shoulders. Inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way down. Very nice. Inhale all the way up. Big beach ball of energy. Imagine that you're making a field goal, slight back bend. Inhale, come up, exhale all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale all the way up, big beach ball of energy. Exhale, slight back bend, engaging in the core. We don't want to injure ourselves, but this is not about how far we can go. It's very, very slight. If you're watching the video, you can see it's very slight. Inhale, coming back up, exhale all the way back down. Very nice. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. You can go ahead and release your hands. Take a sip of water, readjust if you need to. And when you're ready, come back into Tadasana, mountain pose. We're extending our palms outward, drawing our shoulders down, chin parallel to the floor, keeping a slight bend in our knees. We don't ever want to lock our knees. We always want to keep that blood flowing, so a slight bend in them. Taking a nice breath here, engaging in your posture, drawing your hips forward, rolling them forward as you would draw your shoulders back and down and open up your heart space. Good. Root to rise. We're going to drop our hands, bring them all the way up over our head. Hand to heart. Swan dive forward. Plant the palms and step our head back into plank. Good. Lower onto the knees. And from here we are going to make our way onto our backs. Very slowly and very mindfully. And as we come onto our backs, we're going to walk our shoulder blades underneath, almost trying to draw them together, tucking our chin if you have a ponytail here. This is a good time to take it out. The rest of what we do today is going to be on the ground. Rolling our, drawing our core and our hip bones in with our feet planted flat on the floor, finding some side-to-side movement here. You can draw your left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly if this feels good, or you can just keep flat hands. Listening to the sound of your breath, slowing it down. Coming back to center into some stillness. If you want to grab a block, you can. I'm not going to use one today, but I will show you how to use it. We're going to extend our right leg straight up towards the ceiling. You can bend your knees generously as you need here. And we're going to extend our right foot, drawing our toes towards our forehead. Inhale, extending our toes towards our forehead. Exhale, we're going to point our toes. Inhale, drawing our toes towards our forehead. Exhale, pointing our toes. Good, one more. We're going to find a bend in our knee. We're going to actually keep a very active foot here. So like I said, it's almost like we're pushing out on a wall, keeping our toes spread. This helps protect our knee. So if we're very loose here, our knee's very wobbly, but if we actually tighten it up, our knee has a lot more support. We're going to draw our right ankle over our left knee. We're going to push our hips, our right thigh out, excuse me. If this is good for you, if this is enough, you can stay here. If you need more, if you want to watch the video, this would be, I'm going to explain it, but it might be better to just watch it. If you need more, you can draw your left hand out and around and hook it on the back of your thigh or on your shin. And we're going to take our right hand, we're keeping that active foot, this is really important. Taking our right hand and threading it through, almost like you're threading a needle through the thighs, right here. I'll show you from a different angle. So through the thighs right here. You can either grab the back of the hamstring, or if you have a block, this is the time to use your block right behind the hamstring, or a book to draw it towards you. We're keeping very active feet here, and we are actually pressing out on our right thigh with our elbow and drawing in with our hands. Like I said, if you can't breathe, you've gone too far. We're pressing out with our elbow on our right thigh and drawing in with our hands towards our chest. We're just going to take a nice few deep breaths here. Staying active in that foot. Drawing our chin to our chest. Relaxing any tension you might be holding in your face, in your jaw, in your shoulders. Good. Exhale, release. Draw that left foot towards the floor. Extend the right leg. Good. Come back to center. And rock your hips side to side here. Extend our arms out to the side. Come back to center. Inhale. We're going to extend our left leg out, drawing the toes towards our forehead, bending our knees generously as we need to. Be kind to yourself. If you can only draw your leg up to hovering, then do it. If you can bring it to your chest and this feels more comfortable, then that's exactly where you're supposed to be. All is as it should be. Inhaling, drawing our toes towards our forehead. Exhaling, pointing them. Inhaling, drawing our toes towards our forehead. Exhale, pointing them, pressing into the earth. Good. A few more beats. On your next inhale, we're going to keep an active foot. Drop our left ankle over our right thigh, pressing out with our left thigh. If this feels good, you can stay here, keeping that active foot really important. Otherwise, you can thread the needle and either grab right behind your left thigh as you press out, or right behind your right thigh as you press out on your left thigh with your left elbow, or wrapping your fingertips behind, weaving them right behind your right shin. You want to rock side to side here slightly. It's a nice back massage. Feels good on the hips. The important thing is that we're keeping an active foot and we're pressing out on our left thigh with our left elbow. So it's almost like it's a push and pull dynamic. We're pushing out on our left thigh and we're pulling in with our right hands, or with on our right thigh. Taking a few breaths here. Good. Exhaling, slowly releasing, letting our feet come down to the earth, extending our hands out to the sides of us. And on an inhale, we're going to engage the core and bring our knees to our chest. Exhale, drop your legs to the left side. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, dropping the legs to the right side. And we're just going to rock side to side here. Feeling that massage in the lower back. Enjoying this movement. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, extend your legs all the way out, drawing your shoulder blades underneath, letting your hands fall face up at your sides, drawing your chin to chest. Not scrunching up, reaching to your chest, but just drawing it in. So it's parallel with the wall of the earth. Letting your feet drop to the side. And Shavasana, corpse pose. Good work today, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. If you can stay here in Shavasana for a few minutes, I encourage you to do so. Taking a nice deep breath in, just listening to the sound of your breath, setting an intention for the rest of your day, knowing that at any moment you can come back to this sense of peacefulness and mindfulness just by breathing and listening to the sound of your breath. As you go about your day today, do so mindfully. Nothing needs to be rushed. Everything is accomplished. And everything will be accomplished that you need accomplished. Be kind to yourself, be kind to your neighbors. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing this practice with me. I'm going to draw our palms together, bring our thumbs to our forehead. Namaste. The light in me bows to the light in you. When you do come back up, do so slowly and mindfully. Oh, it feels so good. Smile to yourself. Don't forget to breathe today. I know this time is we're living in a very strange time right now, so I really appreciate the sense of community that we have here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Definitely follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Heart and Soul BJJ. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video. It definitely helps support these free classes. Tonight at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, Chris and I will be teaching a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. If you guys would like to join us, we'd love to have you. We basically teach fundamental techniques, and at night, every night, Monday through Thursday. So we'd love to have you join us. And Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I do this yoga stream at noon Pacific Standard Time. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great day. It was very nice. It was a pleasure to be with you.